Okay. And if you could start recording too, Marina.
Yeah, I got a notification that should be recording.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. I am Stephanie Ciccarello, the Director of Sustainability for the Town of Amherst. And if you are here for the Town of Amherst Heat Pump Incentive Program information session, you are in the right place. So thank you so much for joining us. Tonight, I'd like to just give you a quick overview of our agenda. We have Marina Gallant and Edison Dika from CET, formerly known as the Center for Ecotechnology, who will be presenting. Marina will begin, and she will give an overview of the program, followed by Edison, who will give you more information about the technical aspects of heat pump technology. I wanted to let you know that this program development and the administration and incentives for the heat pump incentive initiative was provided through the American Rescue Plan Act, also known as ARPA funding, which is federal funding. We're very fortunate to be partnered with CET, who responded to our request for proposals. They come with very unique experience. They are a Mass Save program administrator, so they have very unique knowledge about the Mass Save incentive program. And they also have lots of information and knowledge about home efficiency and heat pump installations. This program or this workshop is being recorded, and you can find the recording at the Town of Amherst YouTube video webpage. And if you have any trouble finding that, you can also always reach out to me through the town website. I am the sustainability director, so you can find me through the sustainability page. My contact information is there, but just so you have it, my contact email is Ciccarello, CICCARELLOS @amherstma.gov. And with that, I will hand it over to Marina.
Great. Thank you, Stephanie. I'm going to share my screen. And we'll get started. So welcome, everyone. Thanks for taking time out of your evening to join this session today. This is the first inaugural session for the new heat pump incentive program with the Town of Amherst. Like Stephanie said, we're with CET, so I'll walk you through the program itself, who we are, and how to get involved. So to start, we are CET, formerly again known as Center for Ecotechnology. We are a nonprofit that's been in the energy space since the 70s, so we've been around a while, very familiar with the energy efficiency space and various rebates, incentives, and ways to make your home feel more comfortable. So to start, I'll walk through our agenda here. We'll do a brief introduction about the program, why you should consider heat pumps. I'll talk more about the program itself, how to get involved, what the eligibility and the requirements are, and then I'll turn it over to my colleague Edison, who will walk us through heat pumps and their benefits, criticisms, types, etc. And then we should have plenty of time at the end for Q&A. And then there'll also be information of how to get in contact with us at the end as well. So to start, why consider a heat pump? There are three kind of big topics that we think of why we might want to consider heat pumps. First is to save money. They're very efficient, so you'll be able to save on your heating and cooling costs by switching to a more efficient version versus maybe an old boiler or window AC units. You can stay comfortable year-round. It's both heating and cooling. So in the heat, in the wintertime, you can feel comfortable all winter long. And then in the summer as well, you can use it for air conditioning. You don't have to lug those window ACs out every summer. They can just do both. You just switch the mode to heat, cooling. The other thing, and the biggest thing as well, is to go green. By switching to a heat pump, you're using electricity versus fossil fuels, natural gas, as well as oil or propane. So it gives you the opportunity to lower your personal carbon footprint. It also helps support the Town of Amherst sustainability goals by just lowering the CO2, carbon dioxide emissions that are entering the atmosphere. So very good reasons. how this program can help you. We're trying to make it as easy and affordable as possible for Amherst homeowners to upgrade to a heat system. It's through this program, we offer up to $3,500 in a financial incentive, which will help cover the initial installation cost of a new heat pump system. We also provide guidance from our team of technical experts to help you find the best system for your home. There's a lot of different options, and Edison will walk us through that later today. So we'll help you make that best decision that works best for your unique situation. We also offer support with finding a contractor and reviewing those quotes. I know reviewing contractor quotes, especially if you're not already versed with the technical knowledge and the technical kind of jargon that they use, can feel a little intimidating. So we're there every step of the way to help make you feel confident and support that decision. We also offer support with navigating the additional incentives that you might be eligible for, including Mass Save, financial or federal rebates, financing options, etc. Will kind of help you navigate everything that's available to you. So who can participate? Any homeowner in Amherst is eligible. As long as you own your home and you live in the town of Amherst, you are eligible for this program. The first two steps to get started is to complete a home energy assessment through Mass Save or a similar program. And then any weatherization work or insulation work that has been recommended as part of that assessment, we just want you to complete that first. This is to help maximize the efficiency of the system. We don't want you to install a brand new system and completely revamp your space and then have an uninsulated home. The system will just be working more and harder to keep your house at a comfortable temperature. So by insulating your home first, it helps make that system work better. It will cost you less, and you'll be able to feel the comfort. Some key steps to how to get started after you've done those first two steps. So after you've done your home energy assessment and done any necessary weatherization work, you'll contact CET and we'll do a no-cost heat pump load calculation assessment, which is basically we'll come and determine what size heat pump will work for your home. If it's a ducted system, a ductless system, what size you need, how many heads, all that stuff. We'll be able to determine that at the time of the assessment. After that, you'll find a contractor and get assistance through us to help review those quotes and make the best decision for your home. After you found a contractor, found the quote that you want to move forward with, you'll contact them, move forward with the installation of that system, and just work with them to get that scheduled at your convenience. After that, we'll help you maximize your savings. A lot of times for Mass Save, for example, there are various incentives and rebates available to you for after the work is completed, and we'll help you navigate those and what your options are. And then after that, your system's installed and you can just enjoy it year-round with a new efficient heat pump system. So these are kind of the key steps to get started for the program. And then as you contact us, obviously, if there's more support that we can offer throughout this whole process, we're here every step of the way from the start of your assessment all the way to when your system is installed. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Edison, who will walk us through the heat pumps.
Thank you, Marina. And gonna share my screen as well. While I get my screen situated, I went to college in UMass Amherst, so I hold the college near and dear to my heart. Marina, can you confirm that you see my screen?
I do.
All right. So yeah, the town of Amherst is near and dear to my heart, and I've always loved the town. I've grown a lot from Amherst and learned a lot as well. So talking about heat pumps, there are three types of heat pumps. Is my screen advancing?
No, I still just see the title page.
How about now?
Yep.
All right, so there are three types of heat pumps. We have air source heat pumps, ground source heat pumps or geothermal, and air to water heat pumps. In this webinar, we'll primarily be talking about air source heat pumps. just because they are the single most recommended technology, since they are the most common, least expensive, and contractors are the most familiar with these systems. Whether ducted or ductless systems, they recommend these systems more frequently. So we'll focus more on air source heat pumps. So what is a heat pump? Heat pumps are basically just like your regular AC units. They just work backwards. So if you're familiar with how central ACs work, or even window ACs, heat pumps are a technology that moves air from one place to the other. So in the summer months, it works just like your regular AC. And in the winter months, it works backwards. They are an energy efficient alternative to traditional fossil fuel systems. They transfer heat rather than generate heat, and because of this, they work very efficiently to provide comfortable temperatures for your home without the need of a backup system. Also, another example could be your refrigerator and how they work. So inside the refrigerator is cold. And if you put your hand behind it or underneath it, you feel warm air on the refrigerator. All the refrigerator is doing is pulling warm air from inside the refrigerator and pumping it outside the refrigerator. And the heat pump has the capability to reverse that and do the reverse to keep your home cool in the summer and warm in the winter months. So like I said, in the winter months, they extract heat from the outside, even in cold weather. And in the summer months, they move heat from inside the home to the outside to keep it cool. So next we'll talk about the benefits of heat pumps. In Massachusetts, heat pumps are great because they lower our carbon footprint. Depending on the fuel source, heat pumps can cut heating-related carbon emissions by 30 to 60%. They also have upfront cost savings. Like Marina mentioned, there are generous rebates and incentives, and the town of Amherst is also offering these new incentives to lower the cost of heat pumps these days. They also do have a savings potential with solar. When you pair heat pumps with solar power, all customers have the potential of increased energy savings. It'll be like you're heating your home or cooling your home for free if you pair them with solar panels. They also have enhanced comfort. Basically, improved cooling comfort is likely, and improved heating comfort is possible with a thoughtful design. So design is key with heat pumps, and making sure where the head units are placed, or if it's a ducted system, how you duct it is key to get a comfortable distribution of air throughout the home. They are also very highly efficient, more efficient than their counterparts. So here's a graph of of heat pumps and other fossil fuels. As you can see, ground source heat pump outperforms all the other heating systems, heating and cooling systems. Heat pumps come in at a close second, where this is talking about carbon emissions. So heat pumps and ground source heat pumps have great carbon emissions and provide very good numbers when it comes to carbon emissions. Electric resistance heating has the highest carbon emissions compared to all the other fuel sources. Since space heating is the #1 source of greenhouse gas emissions and carbon impact in residential setting, electrifying our homes or electrifying our heating load greatly reduces our carbon impact in our homes. Here's a graph from the EIA showing where most of our energy uses. Transportation is the highest energy use, and residential energy use comes in at a close second. So if we are able to electrify and improve our carbon emissions with in our residential settings, we'll be golden in energy consumption, reducing our energy consumption all throughout. With cost savings for heat pumps, they use less electricity than traditional heating systems, often providing 3 to 4 times more energy than they consume. While the upfront cost can be higher with heat pumps, air source heat pumps save on energy bills over time due to their high efficiency, especially with available incentives and rebates from Mass Save and the Amherst Heat Pump Incentive Program. So on average, and when you switch from an oil heating system to a heat pump, you save approximately 1,264 a year. And then when you move from natural gas heating to heat pumps, there's an approximate savings of 501 per year. This approximate payback window is for a mid-sized house, which assumes an installation of a whole home heat pump installation. The design and sizing of the equipment and how it's configured plays a big role in how these numbers come about and the savings. Heat pumps offer one system system climate control, so they do both heating and cooling, and also the air dehumidification. So almost like 3 systems in one. And by purchasing a heat pump, yeah, basically getting all these 3 equipment with a heat pump. Whereas with other fossil fuel systems, when you get you purchase a boiler, you're only getting heating from the boiler, or a furnace, you're only getting heating from the furnace. You have to purchase a separate cooling system to do cooling in the summer. So we'll go through some common criticisms and their counterparts in the next couple of slides. Some folks talk about heat pumps having limited capacity. The argument is that heat pumps struggle to fully heat large homes, especially in colder climates, potentially requiring backups systems. So counterpart to that, like I've been mentioning, is properly sizing the a cold climate rated system can provide adequate heat with or without auxiliary systems. So sizing the equipment and performing a good manual J-load calculation plays a key part in making sure the heat pump is able to meet the home's heating load. Other folks talk about heat pumps being inefficient in cold weather, and the argument is that air source heat pumps lose efficiency when temperature drop below freezing, making them less effective in cold climates. Counterpoint to that is there are certain modern air source heat pumps that are specifically designed for our climate, called cold climate heat pumps, and they perform even in sub-zero temperatures. Some go down to -25 or even -22 degrees outdoor temperature. Others point out how they look. The argument being the outdoor unit and indoor wall-mounted systems are unsightly or take up too much space. Counterpoint to that is that newer designs are more compact and can be strategically installed in less visible areas. Additionally, there are ducted air source heat pump systems available that integrate with existing infrastructure, minimizing the visual impact while still providing efficient heating and cooling. And another argument is cost, how costly heat pumps are. Counterpoint to that is, although they have an increased cost to install, there are rebates and incentives available to help offset this cost. There is also a greater carbon reduction when compared to other fossil fuel systems. The operational cost of heat pumps can be very competitive with other fuel systems depending on the fuel cost, especially when paired with solar panels. Next, we'll discuss the different types of heat pumps out there. So we have ductless heat pumps, which are the mini splits, they are called. These do not need ductwork. They are ideal for homes without existing duct systems, reducing installation costs and complexity. Benefit of this is you could zone the heating and cooling, which allows for precise temperature control in individual rooms or zones, reducing energy waste. So let's say you're in a room, you turn the mini split or head unit on in that room and turn it off in other rooms. This helps save energy in those rooms where you're not currently occupying that space. They are also compact and flexible. They consist of an outdoor unit and one or more indoor wall-mounted unit, making it suitable for a wide range of spaces. Here's different configurations that you could have. There's the wall hang mount or wall mounted ones or floor mounted ones. The floor mounted ones are great for folks who have radiators existing in their homes and are planning to replace those radiators with something with a heat pump. The floor mounted ones are great to replace those radiators. There's also the ceiling cassette ones, which are recessed into the ceiling and make it so that it's not standing out like the wall hanged ones. So it's recessed and not too bulky on the wall. So there's many different configurations and variations that you could use for mini split systems. And then there's the ducted heat pump systems, which work just like a central furnace or central AC. These are great for whole home comfort. They distribute heating and cooling evenly throughout the house via ducts. They are discrete installation. Ducted systems are concealed in walls, ceilings, or attics, preserving the home's aesthetics. It helps with improved air circulation. Ducts are enhanced air circulation, boosting indoor air quality with appropriate filtration. They are great for furnace retrofits. So if you have an existing furnace with ductwork existing, it's a simple swap where they install the heat pump outdoor unit connected to an air handler and to your existing ductwork, and that is what distributes the air throughout the home. It's also possible to run new ductwork if that's what you would like. So instead of going on the with mini splits, you could install new ductwork through your home to allow for a ducted heat pump. Yes, just a photo showing the configuration. You have your outdoor unit with a line set going from the outdoor unit to the air handler, and then connect the air handler to ducts that distributes the air throughout the home. And there are different variations of the ductwork. There's a compact ducted system that only distributes the air to a few rooms. And then there's a central ducted system that distributes the air to all the rooms throughout your home. So that begs the question, which system or type is right for you. So here's a series of questions to ask yourself or ask your contractor. You want to ask if you have existing ductwork, and if you do, ducted, you should choose a ducted system if your own home already has ductwork. If you do not have existing ductwork, ductless might be the right choice for you. And ductless is for homes without existing ductwork or with poorly functioning ducts. Another consideration is the home size and layout. Choose a ducted for large homes without specific zones, and ductless for smaller homes or spaces with zoning needs. Aesthetics preferences, you want to choose ducted if you want to have hidden distribution within the walls and ceilings, and ductless for indoor wall-mounted units which are visible. Cost. Ducted can be more expensive to install, especially if you are running new ductwork throughout the home, and ductless is a lower installation cost. Energy efficiency is also another consideration. Ducted is efficient, but ducts must be insulated. So if you have existing ductwork and your ducts are uninsulated, you want to make sure you talk to your contractor to make sure that they are able to air seal and insulate your ducts, so you don't have duct distribution losses through your home. And for energy efficiency, ductless are highly efficient, especially if in zoning, and also reducing overall energy consumption. There are some cases where you may want to have a mix of ducted and ductless. For example, if there's an existing duct on the first floor of a cave-style home, but the second floor is electric baseboard heated, the heat pump could be ducted on the first floor and ductless on the second floor. So both configurations could be used in certain homes for better design and efficiencies. Heat pumps are extremely versatile and can be configured many different ways for air distribution throughout your home. For thermostat setting, with heat pumps, it's best to set it and forget it. Pick a comfortable temperature and keep the temperature there. Heat pumps are sophisticated technology and can modulate to keep you comfortable at your set temperature. Now, if you are switching to heat pumps, you should also be addressing your water heating needs. Sometimes your existing water heating is tied to your fossil fuel equipment, and therefore, if you are displacing that fossil fuel, you want to address your new water heating needs, and there are heat pump water heaters now that are available to you. So heat pump water heaters are the same technology as heat pump space heating. They use the atmosphere air around water tank to heat the water. They also offer dehumidification, especially if the tank is in an unconditioned basement. They use less electricity than a conventional electric hot water tank. It's a great solution for folks who have their water heating tied to their existing fossil fuel space heaters. Since adopting heat pump space heating will remove the existing fossil fuel heaters that are tied to water heating, heat pump water heaters are a great solution for water heating. And I'll open it up for questions. I don't know, Stephanie, if there's any questions in the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Edison. Yes, at this time, we would ask that people type their questions. There's a Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. Please click on that and type your questions. We do have a few to begin with, but we certainly have time for others to type their questions. And either Marina or Edison will respond. So we'll start with the first one. I'll read the questions and one of you can respond. And some of them might be repetitive, but we're going to read them anyway. So the first question. I'm having work done by Mass Save, so had an assessment. I didn't do heat pumps because Mass Save says you need to remove your oil burner and do the entire house. Does CET get around this requirement?
Yeah, I can take that one. For this program in particular, for the Amherst Heat Pump Incentive Program, that isn't a requirement. However, we want to maximize the amount of incentives and financial need that you can be eligible for. So we do want to adhere as close as we can to the Mass Save requirements. So if Mass Save requires the oil burner to be removed, we'd like to stick with that just so you can be eligible for those rebates. We wouldn't want you to completely redo and install a heat pump through this program and then not be eligible for the pretty large incentives that Mass Save offers. So it's not a requirement for this, but I think we'd like to stay as close to Mass Save as we can so that you can be eligible for those.
Great, thank you, Marina. What about the problem when it doesn't work well at certain very cold temperatures?
So that's when we wanna design the heat pump by doing a load calculation. So the first step is to do a manual J load calculation in your home and make sure that it's sized correctly and the equipment that is chosen will meet the load designed for your home. So first step, do a load, make sure your contractor is doing a manual J load calculation to determine what size heat pump will work best for your home, and also that they pick an equipment that is rated for cold climates, our climate, to make sure that it's gonna perform even in sub-zero temperatures.
Question's a bit long, so bear with me. I've spec'd out a heat pump to replace my central air, and the estimates ranged from $10,000 to $15,000, depending on the manufacturer and contractor. Let's assume that after rebates, the cost of a fully installed unit would be $7,500. If we saved $500 per year in propane, but drove our electricity bills higher by $1,000 per year, we'd never break even. The problem is we're paying 32 cents per kilowatt hour for electricity. At current costs for propane, the most economical way to heat our space is propane, not electricity. How can we justify a heat pump when electricity costs are so high? Great question.
Yep, that's a great question. So some things to consider with heat pumps is that it's not just with cost savings, it's also carbon savings, and also that by installing a heat pump, you are doing both heating and cooling. So you get savings from the cooling side where you're not getting it on the heating side. And also in temperatures above 30 degrees, the heat pump are very competitive with fossil fuels because like I mentioned, they are not generating heat, they are moving air. So when temperatures are above 30 degrees, heat pumps actually use less electricity to heat your space.
Thank you so much, Edison.
Mhm.
Next question. What is the way to access the Amherst program?
Yeah, our contact information is on the screen here. We have a few options. You can give us a call. We have an email as well. That phone number is listed here, but in case you can't see it, I can read it out. It's 413-239-4620. You can also email us at amhersthpip@cetonline.org. And then we also have a website as well if you want to learn more about what we've shared here, eligibility, how to get started, all of that. We have a website as well, amherstmass.gov/heat pump program.
Great, thank you. And also, I do want to point out that CET will have a booth at the Amherst Sustainability Festival on the Town Common, which is being held on Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So we really encourage people to show up at the festival and come visit the CET booth to get more information. Next question. After getting the evaluation from Mass Save and getting all recommended improvements, what is a homeowner's first call?
Yeah, after you've done your Mass Save assessment and you've done all the installation work, your next step would be to contact us and we can get you started with the heat pump load calculation assessment to assess what type of system and what size is needed for your home.
And a great next question. Why is a ducted system more expensive to install than ductless when there is already existing ductwork?
A ductless system is not more expensive. It's more expensive if you are running new ducts through the home. If there's existing ductwork, the contractor will evaluate the existing ductwork to determine if the existing ductwork is going to be compatible with your heat pump. So some duct modification may be needed. And if that is needed, then that also increases the cost. But definitely the cost is higher compared to the mini splits or the wall-mounted ones if the contractor has to run new ducts all throughout your home. But if you have existing ductwork, it's not more expensive.
Great, thank you, Edison. Next question. Suppose the homeowner is away for a long-term vacation. How does the heat pump work during that period?
If you are away for long term, you could turn the temperature down a few degrees and have it turn on automatically a few days before you arrive back home. But it's still gonna work as it's always worked. Um, the thermostat setting, when I said set it and forget it, is for daily use. So if you're home at all times, you don't wanna have it fluctuate. So I know with fossil fuel systems, the advice is to turn it down when there's no one home, or when you leave for work with programmable thermostats. But with heat pumps, you wanna keep the temperature at a set temperature, because that's how it works. It works much more efficiently when the temperature is at a set set point, and not fluctuating, going setting it low and then raising the temperature a few hours later. But if you're away for a long period, you could set it down to save energy.
Next question. Are there separate incentives offered by CET and Mass Save that can both be had?
Yes, yeah, this heat pump incentive program is completely separate from any existing incentives, rebates, especially Mass Save. But we want it to be used in conjunction with other incentives and rebates. So you can qualify for both. You can qualify for the incentives through this program as well as the Mass Save incentives and any other incentives that are eligible. So you can kind of stack them. We want to maximize and make it as minimal cost as possible for you.
And again, I'd want to point out that those incentives through CET are from the town's ARPA funding. So essentially, the incentives are really coming through the town, and CET is working as our program administrator for those funds. Next question. More of a comment, I think. You do not always have to remove your fossil fuel equipment, but to qualify for the 3,000 per ton rebate, you need to at least disconnect the thermostat. You may choose to disconnect the fuel line or completely remove it.
Yes, that's correct.
Next question. I'm concerned that a heat pump system won't completely replace my need for existing oil furnace backup, especially if heat pumps work best above 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Will I be able to remove my old furnace and oil tank and still be comfortable? I'm from Florida.
Yes. So they work best down to sub-zero temperatures, but in terms of savings, 30 degrees and above is where you see more savings with heat pumps. But heat pumps beat out fossil fuels in terms of decarbonization. Um, they are really great in saving carbon. Um, and then in temperatures that are sub-zero temperatures, you could size your heat pump to work down to -17. In our area, the design temperature is 5 degrees, but heat pumps are able to produce heat and keep your home warm and comfortable even down to -22. Um, as long as you perform a good manual J, a design review, and pick a system that will work for your home, you should be good. And that's why this program is here. We will walk you through all the steps. We will come out and do a manual J load calculation. And once you get quotes from contractors, we will review the code as well and make sure that it's the right equipment for your home.
Edison, could you, seeing as you just brought this up, could you please explain what a manual J is for
Yep.
attendees?
A manual J calculation is basically we come out to your home, we take measurements of your walls, windows, doors, look at the insulation in your walls as well, and insulation in your attic and basement, and basically come up with a BTU number of what exactly your home needs in terms of heating and cooling. We use a software called Conduit Tech, which makes our job easier. We just scan the home and it generates the heating load of the heating and cooling load of the home. And based on that, whether it's a 36,000 BTU or 3-ton system that your home needs, we just want to make sure that the equipment that you pick matches that heat load. So if it's 36,000 BTUs, you want to make sure that you pick a heat pump system that has the capacity to be 36,000 or a little bit more to if you are concerned about it not keeping up.
Thank you, Edison.
You're welcome.
Next question. Will a ducted system require a new air handler?
Yes, so the duct will be connected to the indoor air handler of the heat pump. So basically, if you already have existing furnace with ducts, they will install the outdoor heat pump unit, run refrigerant line to a new air handler that will tie into your existing ductwork. So your furnace or fossil fuel furnace will be removed, and that will be replaced with the heat pump air handler.
Is the technology improving at a pace where it might make sense to wait for the next generation?
Yeah, I think the heat pump technology is improving. The technology wasn't this sophisticated and rating down to -17, -22 when it first came out. These days you find heat pump. That's why they have the cold climate air source heat pumps these days, because they've been able to master the technology to make it more efficient in colder climates like our climates. And so they are becoming more and more competitive to natural gas and propane and oil and other fossil fuel systems.
Can you still zone a ducted system if it is not zoned with an oil burning furnace currently? Is an unzoned house on a heat pump less efficient than mini splits?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Can you actually see the questions too, Edison? Can you still zone?
No, I can't see them.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you still zone a ducted system if it is not zoned with an oil burning furnace currently? Is an
You can zone a ducted system if you put zone dampers in the ducts. Um, it's a little complicated with duct system and zoning them, but it's possible. It's just a little bit more complicated.
And then the follow-up part of this question, is an unzoned house on a heat pump less efficient than mini splits?
I wouldn't say so. But in general, so heat pumps are the efficiency of heat pumps are measured in COP. In general, ducted air source heat pumps um don't have a higher COP compared to the ductless. So ductless heat pumps are more efficient or have higher COPs than ducted in general.
We currently use smart Wi-Fi connected thermostats in our conventional system. Would we be able to use something similar with these?
Yes.
Great. That's a very easy answer. Next question. Is there a cost with CET evaluation?
Nope, no cost.
Great. Well, those were very two quick answers. So I think we are actually at the end of our questions. If anyone else has a question, now is the time. If you want to type it in quickly. Um, Again, I just want to point out that CET will have a booth at the Amherst Sustainability Fair Festival being held April 26th, Saturday, April 26th, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. We hope people will come out and get some information from them then. There is a website that you can go to, amherstma.gov, so amherstma.gov/heat pump program. You can also go to the sustainability dashboard on the town's website, and I believe we have a banner that will link you to information about the heat pump program as well. And also, you can always contact me if you have questions or you want to get in touch with CET and you're having difficulty reaching them. Feel free to contact me. My email is Ciccarello, C as in cat, ICCARELLO, S for Stephanie, at amherstma.gov, and I would be more than happy to help answer your questions. With that, I don't believe we have any more questions. Oh, I'm sorry. Just came across a couple more. Here, let me just get to these. Are there programs that allow to have both an oil heater and heat pump?
Technically, yes. Through this program, you can. Again, though, we want to stay as close to the Mass Save program and their requirements as possible so that we can allow you to access those incentives. But that is an option to keep it. Although we do want to, as you install heat pumps, like Edison has said, they do have cold rated heat pumps. So ideally, there shouldn't be a need to keep the oil heater. But if it's a need through this program, you can keep it. You just wouldn't be eligible for the additional Mass Save incentives.
And I should say there are some dual fuel heat pumps available as well. So they could work. Basically, it's a dual fuel system that uses natural gas and heat pump technology. But as long as the product is on the Mass Save qualified products list, it should qualify for the Mass Save rebates.
Okay. And do you expect a lot of demand for this program? Marina, perhaps you want to take a stab at that one?
Yeah, ideally, yes. We'd love to have people be interested. We'd love to do, as many assessments as we can, and make sure we can get heat pumps installed for homeowners that are interested. Our program goal is to do 30 total heat pump installations. So we'll most likely do more assessments than we will installations. So that's kind of our limit, but we are flexible. If we see a lot of demand, we want to serve as many homeowners as we can.
And I will note that this program, because we're utilizing ARPA funding, the program funds need to be expended completely. So everything needs to be wrapped up by December of 2026. So this program will run through December of 2026, but we have to, because we have to finalize everything by then, I would say, really by November of 2026, we need to probably stop taking on more opportunities for heat pump installations. We'll have to wrap things up by then and expend all the funds that we have for the program. I think we have one last question. Oh, actually, it's more of a statement, a comment. The mass save requirement to remove an oil burner is if you do the entire house for their maximum rebate.
Yes,
Right.
correct. Through this program as well, we're currently doing similar to that, the entire home, the whole home heat pump, similar to what Mass Save offers. We'd like to do full conversions through this program initially.
Yeah, so the Mass Save program has partial home and whole home. For this program, we want to do whole home heat pumps.
Okay, I don't think we have any more questions at this time. I want to thank both Marina and Edison for your time. Want to thank all of you who attended. Really encourage you to please follow up and reach out to CET, and at the very least, getting a home assessment is a great thing to do if you haven't done it already, or if you haven't done it in the last 2 years, you can do it again, and please contact them and they will walk you through the process. So thank you all so much for attending, and we hope to see you at the Sustainability Festival. And thanks again. Have a great night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye, all.